evening. My name is Nikisha Paul, and I am running for the Texas City Independent School District Board of Trustees, District 3. I won't stand before you too long, but I want to talk to you and introduce myself to those of you that I've never met before. And so I know most of you are thoughtful people and will want to compare the performance of the district between my tenure and my competitor's tenure. In order to provide you with some information that's relative, let me start off by telling you I was elected in May 2011 until December 2015. It's no secret, we all saw or even heard about the decline in financial and academic performance over the last 15 years in LMISD. When I came on board in 2011, we were in serious jeopardy. And when I became president in 2013, we began to see some things turn around. Collectively, those of us on the board during the mentioned time frame spent a couple of years trying to determine what were the factors that led to the decline during that time, and we found that there were some misappropriations. During the initial talks about the annexation, we developed a strategy in 2013 where we saw immediate benefits on some of the strategic decisions that were made. Some of the indicators we saw that we were moving in the right direction were an increase in the fund balance from $47,000 to $6.9 million, increased attendance, increased graduation rates, decreased discipline, and decreased dropout rates. So I think the legitimate question about why we resisted annexation and why we felt so strongly about the closure raised concern when we looked at other schools much like Marque ISD, such as North Forest and Wilma Hutchins. When they were annexed, there was a decline, and their improvements declined. And so with that in mind, we decided that the timing probably was not right for the annexation, and one of our fears was that the annexation process would negate the progress we were already making. And quite frankly, our rationale showed our strategies were paying off, and hence the district meeting state standard. Therefore, we sought counsel and we decided to move ahead. We hosted town hall meetings asking for community support. We took recommendations for state legislators, and of course we validated that we had the legal right to make that determination. And so now the question is, why am I running for Texas City ISD Board of Trustees? Pretty much for the same reasons that we were concerned about the annexation, and to make sure that there is a voice to try to raise standards of performance for all students in an annexed district, and that the students that were originally in the LM schools, that they do not somehow lose the ground that we had already gained. This is the reason that I am committed to this. I accept changes that were made, and what I'd like to do is have an opportunity to make the changes effective for the population that I serve. Thank you for having me.
First off, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for setting this up. This is really a neat deal, especially for someone that you may not know, like myself. I wanted to say that I was born in Galveston. I'm a BOI. I don't know if that's good or bad here on the mainland. When I was a kid, there was a lot of animosity between Galveston and the mainland, but I've got over that because I've been here over 40 years. I graduated from Ball High School. I have a BBA in finance from the University of Houston main campus. I'm active in the community and have lived in Texas City for the past 42 years, as I said, and I'm married to Watine Frazier Rack. She may have taught some of you folks. She taught for 43 years. We've been married for 43 years, and she taught for 37 years at the high school in Texas City. Let me see what else I need to tell you folks about me. I'm the proud father of 3 beautiful daughters that graduated from Marque School, Anna, Martha, and Katie, all of which went on and got higher ed degrees. I have the first daughter, Anna, has a master's degree in physical therapy from Texas Texas Tech University. Martha, the middle daughter, is a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin, and she's a medical doctor at works for Baylor up in Houston at Ben Taub, and she practices as a MFM OB-GYN. That kind of rhymes, remember? But anyway, it's a research type position. I think she sees patients 2 days a week and then teaches and instructs the other 3 days a week. Katie graduated from the University of Texas in Austin also, and she has a MBA in international business, and she was going to go work overseas and all until she went overseas for about a year at the end of that master's program, and suddenly she realized that there ain't nothing like USA, and came back. Anyway, she has her certified financial planning license, which is similar to a CPA, and she works for Equitable in the Galleria area of Houston at this time. There was some question, there was something in the paper about that I wasn't qualified for this position. I need to tell you that I was the Associate Vice President of Financial Services at College of the Mainland for 38 years, and I just recently retired. I was in charge of the accounting system, the payroll system. Now these are automated systems. Staff benefits, risk management, taxation, the cashiering function, the budget, investments of the college's excess money, and of all the retirement funds. But I guess I don't have the experience that they were expecting of me. But I really do, and I'm just being, that's a pun, I can really do a good job if I can get on the board and help the folks, because I do know a lot about school finance, especially higher ed finance. Okay, kiddos, let's see here. In December the 1st of 2016, I was chosen by the Education Commissioner to be one of the overseers, they called us managers, to replace the defrocked Board of Trustees at Marque, and to ensure the smooth transition of the Marque ISD to the Texas City ISD. And I think we were very successful in that. I was looking back, and Mabel may be able to confirm this for me. I don't think we ever had a vote that wasn't unanimous and everything. We always agreed on it, the commission did. And another thing that's kind of a myth that's going around or has been in the paper, this commission that I was on did not choose to close the school. The school was closed before we were chosen by the state. We just helped afford it and helped with the logistics of changing over. So I wanted to clear that up. Involvement with the school beyond having my children and being there every time we could to help them. We've been active in the Booster Club for well over 20 years. My wife and I, she's currently the treasurer of the Marque Booster Club. I was the voice of the Lady Cougars, whatever that entails, for for the state championship team 20 years ago, and up until last year. I have 1 minute left. Okay. Up until last year, I was also an announcer and all for the school. Okay, the thing that I see most important is that we invest our money on the board in training for our teachers and keeping up their credentials and giving them the materials they need, but staying well within the budget that's allotted from the taxpayers. And that's very important, and spend our money wisely and not give it away or whatever else that's been done with it in the past. And remember, they didn't close the district because it was doing well. They closed it because it was nowhere near what it was supposed to be. So I want everyone to know that we don't want to get that way again with the new district. And if you pick me as the candidate, you're going to get somebody that's not going to let that happen if you can help it. And I believe I can really help it. I remember there's a saying, a verse in Isaiah that ends, "Here am I, send me, send me."